G'day guys, it's Scott here and welcome to another Pod TV. I really love having you guys on board again for another great episode where we're going to talk about good days versus bad days. We have previously spoken about this, but we have gone from about 500 members when we did speak about it to 2,000 plus members. So that 1,500 people will now have an opportunity to review, and obviously I'll add some new things in from last time. So before I do that, obviously the standard little bit of admin. We've got lots of courses coming up. Simon Barthold's masterclass for athletic footwear, and he will be bringing the new X-Blade, or doing a presentation on the new X-Blade Severs boot that will only be able to be accessed through prescription through podiatrists. So that is very exciting. So if you haven't signed up to the Brisbane workshop, please jump across to podiatry17.com and get a ticket, because that is something that is very, very new, and it's the only way you're going to get that information. Other than that, we've got dry needling, F&T in Sydney, in Melbourne, and then we've got strength and conditioning in Adelaide. And we've just had another sponsor sign on, which is Fasciitis Fighter. Thanks Hamish and the crew there for joining us again and sponsoring the event. Can't wait to see you guys all there. We've got Iron Edge and Valve Performance as well, so very, very excited, and you'll see more of that for sure. So let's get into this today. Good days and bad days. Now, we all have good days and bad days. The trick is you can't have one without the other. Now, if you think about that, you start putting the pieces together and go, okay, well, I need to set my expectations up for good days and bad days, because I sure as hell would not want to have just an average playing day. That would be boring as, excuse me, but batshit. I would like the good days, and I'd like to push for the good days and make more of those good days more and more, rather than just chasing the average day or just all day. Now, what I want you to think about really heavily with a good day versus bad day is everyone's version of a good day versus a bad day is different. So what you need to do is you need to visualize that and take that on board and make sure that you've got a conceptualization of what you think good day or bad day is. And if you're in a management position, knowing what your staff or your staff member thinks a good day or a bad day is, because it can be all different. So I went out and talked to a few people about good days versus bad days, and I got some interesting feedback, and I've got a list here of what they thought a good day versus a bad day. So I want you to think about what's a good day to you, what's a bad day, what makes those days. Now this list is humongous, so I'm just going to list off a couple that were hot property. What makes a good day? A day where you reach a commission level, a bonus, you get a raise, you get a promotion. A Friday, a Monday came up a fair bit. People who love their jobs, obviously, which is great. Start of a new job, a short day, last day before you're going on holidays. So they're all really, really good days. Other things could be a day all of dispensers, a day all of biomechanics, a day all of general care, a quiet day, a busy day, a day where you're working in a specific clinic because you like the staff members or the doctors or the nurses or whoever or physios who you work with. The list goes on and on and on, but I want you to appreciate there's lots of different things there that can make a really good day. And that's great. So knowing that can help you guys set up your staff and your colleagues and yourself to keep getting those good days going, and set that expectation that you know good days are coming and how to make those good days come, because you know what to push into them. I need days where I'm going to, shorter days or busier days or days with more biomechanics. So you need to focus on those types of developmental things. On the other side, you've got bad days. So what makes a bad day? Okay, this is also huge. So I actually have a Monday. Came up in both lists. Some people find the day before going on holidays can be sometimes a stressful day or a bad day because they're so busy trying to get everything in. So that's come up in both lists. The day you have a complaint, that could be a range of things. You could have got sacked. You could have got a formal warning. Could be your first day back from holidays. Could be a day where you had lots of cancellations. Could be a day that has all biomechs. Could be a day that's all generals. Could be a quiet day. Could be a busy day. There is just so many things. Could just be a long day. Could just be a day, where you don't like the place you're working at because it's all maybe home visits or something like that, or it's got 5 P&As all put together and you find them really stressful. Now this is a really good example, because if you do, you should talk to your owners about trying to avoid that. And that's what I want to talk about is the two lists, what's a good day, what's a bad day. There is so much there, but there's a lot of crossover, and it's going to be very individualized. So when I read that list, and I'm sure if you guys write down those things that you think, I can promise you that you'd look at that list and go, geez, 90 to 99% of that stuff is completely controllable. It's in your control. So let's have a look. Good day. Let's just use bonuses because it's easy, or reaching commission levels. You can control that by working hard and reassuring you're doing the job you're doing, because your boss has put policies and procedures in to help achieve those goals. Easy. Holidays, you can set your own holidays up all the time. That's not a hard thing to do. A day full of biomechanics and dispensers, you can make that happen. That's in your control. Let's go down the list to bad days. First day back from holidays, I'll talk a bit about this, but people hate that because they come back, they fly in that morning and go to work. That's insanity. It's a holiday. You're meant to be relaxed. My suggestion to you is take the day before you leave off, take the day you come back, or even a day and a half, and then go back. So you've got time to reset and actually be relaxed and reset. Personally, at home, I have twins plus a newborn. It's really hard for me to get downtime. So I appreciate those things even more. So, just because you're at home doesn't mean you're actually relaxing. So make sure you do those type of things. A busy holiday might be really stressful. So try not to do that. Try and make them enjoyable. A patient complaint. I want to talk a bit about this, but really simply, a patient complaint's easy. 99% of them are in your control, which we'll see in a second. But when you get something formalised like that in an email from your boss or something like that, don't stress. I've had these things before and I've worked myself up over them, and you don't need to. Just stop, read what it is, put it down, do whatever you're doing, finish whatever you're doing, try and knock it out of your head, and then come back and read it again, because probably 30% of the time you'll read it and misread what they're actually wanting. 2, when you do, and I should have started with one, but when you do read it, work out whether it's urgent. And I promise you 90% of it isn't urgent. We don't have podiatric emergencies by definition in podiatry. Someone can ring up our Ingram Tonal, which is infectious bleeding. It's off to the doctor anyway. You would have given them those instructions. You just got to reaffirm those. So it might be you need to make that phone call straight away, but it's not like they're going to drop dead in that maybe half an hour it might take you while you finish the patient with. So read it, put it down, come back to it. If you can come back to it the next day after a good sleep, that's fantastic, and deal with it in the morning because your brain's ticking really, really well. There's lots of science behind that, and you'll be able to accustom to that. So take the time to make sure that's how you do that. And then once you've read it, write down a response and do the same thing. Put it down and come back to it later and rewrite it. You'll find you'll rewrite it 99% of the time. You'll misinterpret it. And finally, don't take it personally. It's probably not something personal. So a patient complaint, for example, your expectation just probably didn't align, or the patient's expectation didn't align with yours. And that's something that you can't do much about, but there is sometimes something you can do about it. So what you can do, and what I'm saying is 90% control. Patient complaints, you can go back and see why. So their complaint was, I felt he was really short with me and he just pushed me out. Now you might have done everything correctly. You might look at that and your boss might go, that is the best treatment I've seen. But you didn't spend much time talking to them because you were running behind, so you cut down your subjective because you know you're an experienced, well-rounded podiatrist, that you know that they've come in with heel pain, they're giving you the morning symptoms, they're giving you all the definition, you go like, explain it fast, and you've just powered through. And sometimes that's not right, so you've got to take that time to actually engage them and make sure that you are identifying what's important to them and then taking the time to actually push through those things. So one of the simple things was in my last video 2 episodes ago. Loyalty to patient is repeating what they've said to you and taking the time to make sure you build that rapport so you can avoid that. So realistically, when you really go down that list, 90% of that stuff is in your control. Or, I mean, it's completely out of your control, like Mondays come, Fridays come. But you can, you still got control over how you approach those things. So how do you make your Mondays better? Maybe you go to sleep on Sunday more often rather than going to the Normby, which is a classic pub when I was around here in Brisbane, where Sunday nights were very big. You do those types of things. Not that I did much of that anyway. So I really want you guys to have a good think about what's a good day, what's a bad day. Write the list and then make it happen. Make those good days more available for you by putting them as a goal-setting situation. I think bad days are a great motivator as well, because you get the opportunity to self-review, and that's what I want you to do. Is I want you to look at when you do get one of these situations which makes you feel a bit unwell about things, and you're like, oh, I feel so horrible and everything like that. Take the time to work out why, the what, review it, talk to someone about it, write it down, and work out how you can make sure it doesn't happen again, because it's all it's in our power. And if you get to the conclusion that there was nothing you can do, I'll say 2 things. Make sure you cross that path with someone else, because you might just be really stubborn. not just being blunt. Or two, maybe there was nothing you could have done. Maybe the patient just had these really high expectations because the previous podiatrist they saw spun a load of crap to them, and I'll say that. Let's just use that as an example. I hate that. Or anyone, another allied health professional or professional gave them a whole lot of crap that wasn't true, and you had to then live up to that, and that's not easy to do, obviously, because it's a lie. That's a really extreme case, but it's a really easy way to explain it. But if you take the time, you will make sure it happens, and you will find that you won't have bad days, or bad days will actually become good days because you'll be like, okay, I did that today, but the rest of my day was fantastic. I know how to deal with it, and I've processed through really, really well. So go away, have a think about that. What's a good day? What's a bad day? And over the next couple of videos, I'll be looking at complaints and stresses. And stresses is going to be quite cool because it's going to probably tie in with this really nicely. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. Keep subscribing. If you're a YouTube person, subscribe to the YouTube. You'll get notifications when the videos go up. Obviously, on Facebook, I'll add links in, so keep doing that. And once again, add your friends because the more power we have, the more stuff we can bring to you guys. And jump across to podiatry17.com where we have all our courses available, which is a whole range of really cool stuff. And especially that strength and conditioning course, which is certified by the Australian Strength and Conditioning Association. There's nothing else like it in the country, so a great opportunity to really push yourself if you love your biomechanics. Catch you guys.